What's up guys, Larissa here again with Shanti Moves, and today we are bringing you pyramid pose, aka Parsvottanasana. Pyramid pose is super intense hamstring lengthener and the rest of the back body as well. It's also got some strengthening qualities, it's got some balancing qualities, it's got some focus, dristy qualities. It's got a lot of stuff going on. It's a little bit complicated, I found, at least for me in the beginning, so I hope you get a lot of use out of this demo, and if you'd like to join me, let's get down on the mat. Okie doke. So today we are doing pyramid pose. Like I said before, it can be really intense on those hamstrings in the beginning. So I'm just going to do one forward fold round to warm us up, but if you feel like you need more, maybe do a few more before we start working into it. All right, so without further ado, hips width apart or feet together, whatever you prefer, yogi's choice. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Really just let those arms hang heavy, maybe bend the knees a little bit. Rock side to side. Beautiful. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, back down. And then just roll the spine up. Starting with the tailbone, tucking the tailbone, then stacking one vertebrae on top of the other until you come all the way back up to Tadasana, mountain pose. All right. So if you feel like you need a little bit more working in the hamstrings and legs, feel free to do some other poses, maybe low lunge, again, forward fold. There's plenty of videos for that if you want to go back to those poses, so check them out. All right, step back with the left foot. So we're doing a much closer staggered foot, so it's a little bit closer than the Warrior One or Warrior Two. And then traditionally here, you turn your back toes out to the side, lining heel to heel up. But that can be really bouncy and challenging in the beginning, so let's try with a little bit wider stance. So I want you to take your front foot, heel toe that foot out to the edge of your mat slightly, and that can make just a little bit more stable for the hips and for the legs for your foundation, right? Because this is foundation practice, building from the ground up. All right, so again, we want to firm through our legs here. Maybe grip the mat with your toes. I like to picture the arches of my feet kind of like little suction cups gripping to the mat. And again, we're staying nice and long and strong through the legs. So you're really pressing down through the feet, engaging, drawing that energy upwards. And then for me, you might notice I have hyperextension in my knee. So I think I've mentioned this in a few videos before, but this is also a crucial position where you want to be really mindful of that. If you have that hyperextension, make sure you're really bending that knee, not deeply, but just there's a nice generous bend and you're not locking out that joint. And everybody actually wants to have a slight micro bend, but those like me need to be a little bit more mindful of that. So again, let's try to bring the hips forward to the front of the mat. You don't have to really work it, but just try to bring the hips facing this direction. Good. And then option one here, we're just going to place the hands on the hips. If you're feeling nice and open in the shoulders, you can lace the hands together, maybe point your fingers out, or you can square off the wrists like so. So those are all options for the arms there. I'm going to go with the hips first. Good.
So then when we bend forward, we're bending from the hips, trying to keep that spine nice and long. Micro bend in the knees, don't lose it. And then you want to come about halfway down, maybe a little bit higher if you're feeling really tight in those hamstrings. And then see if you can pull your right hip back, left hip forward. Keep extending through the crown of the head. You should be feeling a nice burny, talky sensation in the leg. It's saying, hello, I'm waking up and I'm working for you. And then maybe you want to experiment with the arms here. So lace the hands together, either square off the wrists or maybe palms fully together, pointer fingers pointing away. Draw those shoulders down the back. Keep extending through the crown of the head. And don't forget about that breath. If you've lost the breath, make sure you come back to it. Maybe come up a little bit if it's getting too intense. It doesn't really matter how far up and down here you go. We're just really looking to get a nice activation in the back sides of the legs and back side of the body. Good. Let's inhale, let's come back up. Whew, my right leg's burning. All right, so then we can just pivot here. So just start to turn the toes to the other side of the mat. Maybe stagger the stance to become a little bit wider again. Maybe shake those arms out too to relax the shoulders. And again, you can try the heel to heel option if you'd like. If you want to do the wider stance, feel free. All right, so now I'm gonna start with hands laced together instead of on the hips. Take a nice deep inhale, maybe lengthen up through here, so really firm through the feet. Inhale, lift all the way up through the legs, get nice, long and strong through the crown of the head. Hands together. Exhale as you bend forward, going as far as you can. And instead of crunching your neck back like this, try to bring the chin to the chest. So your neck is like an extension of your spine, getting nice and long through the back side of the body. Good. Don't forget about that little generous micro bend in the front leg and in the back leg. Pulling that left hip back this time. Right hip comes forward to try and square them off and stay strong in that center of the body. And coming back to that breath. Good. Inhale, come all the way back up. Nice and slow. Good. All right, now we're gonna pivot back to the other side. Adjust the feet if you need to. And now we're gonna go all the way down, all right? So we went to that halfway fold point. Now we're gonna go all the way down. So, hands on the hips. Inhale, ground down, engage, lift up, get nice and long and tall. Exhale, bending from the hips. Coming halfway. And then at the halfway point, it's always good to kind of readjust. Take a gander at your knees, hips squaring, so right hip back, left hip forward. Lengthening through the crown of the head. And then see if we can go all the way down. Maybe the hands touch the mat. And you can kind of round the back here. It doesn't have to be flat. Bring the knee to the nose to the knee. Good. And if your fingers are not reaching here, option for blocks. So this way it gives you a little bit more support so you can really kind of focus on the legs instead of thinking about getting your hands to the floor, because that doesn't really matter so much. We're really trying to work the back sides of the legs here and kind of lengthen the back side of the body. Good. Keeping those bends in the knees, finding the breath. And then inhale, coming all the way up. Pressing through that front foot is really key to come all the way back up nice and strong. Good. We can take the blocks with us. Pivot to the other side. Set the blocks where you like them. You can do high side, medium side, low side, wherever you're at. adjust the feet, hands on the hips, inhale, lengthen and strengthen up. Exhale, bending forward from the hips, coming all the way down. Hands find the block, or maybe they find the mat. And just being mindful again, playing with the hips, playing with the micro bend of the legs, extending through the crown, getting nice and long with the spine, chin coming to the chest. So much going on in this pose. Good. Inhale, press through that front foot, coming all the way back up. Bring it back in, mountain pose. Whew. So my hamstrings and calves are talking to me now, so maybe they are for you too. If you have any questions about the pose, please feel free to ask in the comments. If you want specific poses, leave those as well. Like and subscribe to the channel. It really, really helps us grow and bring you more good content. Thank you so, so much. Until next time, namaste. And today we are bringing you pyramid pose.